Complete the pair by the pattern. So let's start off with our easy question. This time our easy question is super duper easy, so you should be able to get this straight away. We have this shape over here, and then it gets transformed over to this shape. So what exactly is happening? These two pieces are just clicking together like a jigsaw puzzle. So they're just being pushed towards each other and clicking into place. So the only thing that's changing is the position. Let's do the exact same thing to this shape over here. If we push them together, our answer is going to be D. So really well done if you got that correct. Let's see if you can get the medium question correct. Now let's move on to our medium question. We have this shape over here and it gets transformed over to this shape. So what is going to be our shape's matching pair? Let's go through all the changes step by step. So we have our shape and then it gets rotated 180 degrees clockwise. So the orientation is changing. So let's do the same thing to this shape over here. Let's rotate it 180 degrees. So it's going to look something like this. So already we can cancel out the answer D because it hasn't been rotated. It's showing as its original form. So we have already crossed out an answer. We know our answer is not going to be D. Now let's have a look at our shape again. What is happening for it to look like this? Well, it looks like all three pieces have been squashed together so that there are no gaps in the middle and it's almost fitting together like a puzzle. So now we can start cancelling out a few answers. We can cancel out A because it's just looking a little bit weird. If we were to squash these pieces together, we know that this grey area and this grey area will be touching the middle. There shouldn't be any extra blocks in the middle, so we've crossed out A. We can also cross out E because it has a few extra pieces on the top. It looks like the grey areas have turned white, so we know our answer is not going to be E. So we're left with answer B and answer C. Which one is going to be the answer? Well, let's have a look at our diagram. Let's have a look at the colours, the shading in particular. It looks like the middle has become grey and the two outside areas have turned to white, so they've changed colours. Let's do the same thing to our shape. That means the middle is going to turn grey and the two outside areas are going to turn white. So as we said, the shading is changing. So what is going to be our answer? Our answer is going to be B, because the middle is grey and the two outside areas are white. So really well done if you got that correct. There were a few steps in this one and it was a little bit tricky, so give yourself a pat on the back if you got that correct. Now let's move on to our hard question. Now this question is particularly hard that even I struggled to get the answer. So if you get this correct, then you're probably going to pass your 11 plus or job interview or whatever it is you're studying for. If you don't get this correct, then that's completely fine. Just continue watching videos like this, and in the future you'll have enough knowledge and enough confidence to answer even harder questions. So just don't give up just yet. Let's have a look at this shape over here. We can see that this shape gets transformed over to this shape over here. So what is going to be this shape's matching pair? Let's have a closer look at this shape. Let's start by rotating it, and the reason I say rotate is because we can see that the semicircle and this shape inside is still there, but it's just in a different orientation. So let's start off by rotating and try and get it in a similar position. So let's rotate it anti-clockwise. We've rotated it 1/4 of the way. Now we've rotated it halfway. Now we've rotated it 3/4 of the way counterclockwise, so we can see that the orientation has changed. We're very close to the final product, but we're not there just yet. Just before we do look at the changes after this, let's do the same thing to this shape. Let's rotate it 3/4 of the way counterclockwise. So we've rotated it 1/4 of the way. We're halfway now, or 2/4. And there we go, we're 3/4 of the way. Now, what do we need to do to this shape over here to get it to look like this? Well, If we were to have a dotted line in the middle or a mirror and we were to reflect the shape, then it will look exactly like our end product. This is what we're looking for. So let's do the exact same thing here. Imagine there was a mirror and we were to reflect this shape. It will look something like this. So what is our answer going to be? Which one of these answers is matching? Well, the answer is obviously E. So super well done if you got that correct. You should be super proud of yourself. If you didn't, don't you worry, just continue watching more videos like this one and you should be able to get it in the future. Keep on watching.